To start the second day of the play-ins, Fnatic was taking on the Japanese DFM. Hulisang was finally back on stage after testing negative for COVID and was looking to help his team secure another win. However, in regular Huli fashion, he got caught early on bot and gave first blood to DFM. The Eastern team continued to press the pedal and found itself 1k up in the early game. While DFM had a good game, Fnatic remained calm and collected. Humanoid led Fnatic to the opponent's nexus, exploiting the gaps in DFM's play and finding advantages in the teamfights. With this win, Fnatic is taking first place in Group A with a 3-0 scoreline. In Game 2, the NA representative was taking on its rivalries from South America. Loud started the game strong, finding first blood on top after diving Impact. Both teams were fighting all around the map, with EG finding kills in the fights. However, around the 19th minute, the Geniuses were caught off guard and Loud aced them. A little later, the Brazilians forced a Baron after EG sent 3 members bot. However, Inspired and Vulcan pulled a phenomenal 2 vs 3 to ace Loud and take the Baron. From there, EG did not lose control and closed the game after acing the CBLOL representatives one more time in the upper jungle. Game 3 was chaotic, with both Sangyeong Buffalo and Isurus Gaming fighting from early. While the bot laners were trading kills, ADD on his surprising Zillium top pick punished Hasmet and Binjay for their overaggression, killing both of them. The teams continued fighting left and right, with skirmishes happening on all sides of the map. While the game looked even in terms of kills, SGB created a 2k gold advantage by killing all of Isurus' Tier 1 towers. The VCS representative jumped on the wave they created and continued to run over Isurus, acing the LOA team at the 25th minute. The game finished on a high note for Shogun, who showed why Aphelios' shotguns are worth the fear.
Kind of the end of it all. Grell's gonna get ulted, but he can't really dive back in. Shogun's dominating. My goodness, Aphelios might be on track for the Penta. 3, 4, 5, give it to me! There we go, baby! That's a pentakill for Shogun!
In the next game, DFM took over the Chiefs. The situation was not looking good for the LGL representatives, who were 0-2 in the competition. They were looking for a much needed win, and they found it. The game began with an extremely messy fight on bot lane, but DFM outplayed their opponents and came on top. Steel continued to run with the advantage, finding single members of the Chiefs out of position and taking the neutral objectives on the map. With the help of Utapon on Kai'Sa, DFM's jungler and his team needed 30 minutes to pick their first win.
Find the snipe with the Shuriken. Topun now in trouble as well, as Yaharong's gonna clean that up. And Utapon going straight into the back line. 1v1 me, bro. Takes out Raze. And Detonation Focus may have found it again. That might be the game. Heavy going for the last one on to Tally. The auto fight goes.
After a shaky win over the Brazilians, EG were looking to prove themselves in a potentially important game against BYG. According to their expectations, this match was going to decide who will be the second seed coming out from Group A. Evil Geniuses did not disappoint and played a solid game. The team was active on the map, forcing plays and responding nicely to Beyond Gaming's dives. Around the 30th minute, EG found a good fight on mid, killing 3 members of the Taiwanese squad and afterwards taking down the Baron. 2 minutes later, the game was already over for BYG. Jojupian finished the game 6-3 and 8, supported by Vulcan, who was unkilled with a 1-0 and 10 scoreline. In Game 6, DRX was facing a tough task ahead, as Sangyeong Buffalo was still undefeated in the tournament. Historically, the LCK teams have struggled against VCS representatives, but today was not the case. After finding first blood on top, the RX secured the first dragon and continued to move its advantage forward. The Korean team created a 5k gold lead by the 17th minute, and the situation for SGP did not get better. The RX continued to escalate the tempo of the game, taking the Baron at the 22nd minute. 3 more minutes of life was all she wrote for Sangyeong Buffalo as their nexus fell after losing one last teamfight in their own base. The penultimate game of the day was a derby between Mad Lions and RNG. The Lions were looking to solidify their decent performance from the last 2 games, while the Chinese team had to bounce back after losing to the RX on the first day. The LPL representative was looking clean in the fights, finding members of the Lions and exploiting every small gap there was. In a typical explosive LPL fashion, RNG aced Mad at the 16th minute and continued to run forward with this advantage. Breed was just too big on Jax, and nobody could answer him. The triple threat comp of RNG was too much to handle for the Lions, and after losing both the Baron and the Dragon Soul, Mad also lost its Nexus. The final game of the day had the Wildcats facing the RX. The Turkish players seemed angry from their previous 2 losses and found first blood on bot after carrying Barrow. However, the Koreans showed why they are considered the favorites for the first place in the group and found a beautiful team fight at the bottom river. Zeka became godlike on Akali, consistently outplaying the Turkish players and dishing tons of damage. After taking down the Baron at the 21st minute, the RX confidently pushed their way into the Wildcats' base and secured a 26-minute win. Zeka had an absolutely massive performance, finishing the game unkilled, followed by his jungle Juhan, who also had a decent performance on Maokai.